congratulate all the graduates and say I feel honored to be speaking on their behalf today. Last September, I came to this school as an awkward, nerdy 17-year-old, used to classes of 6 and hanging out with people I'd known since I was 2. I was terrified. I was scared of being lost in the crowd, of not finding friends, even of getting lost in the school in the beginning. However, on my first day, Alicia Dick said hi to me, just as I've seen her say hi to several other newcomers throughout the year. Holly Ekman and Sarah Struthers let me join their group in calculus the day after, and the school started to look a lot smaller. The truth is, this has been my best school year ever, and I'm not just saying that to be sentimental. I really love this place and this grad class, despite the short amount of time I've been around and the ridiculous amount of time we seem to spend in neon spandex and leg warmers. I think we're all scared at times, especially during transitions, whether they're to a new school, a new job, or a new town. Life is full of challenges, and those are scary, but we're facing them, and that's what's really important. Don't stop believing, even when things get tough, you know? And in these speeches, people usually talk a lot about the future. But before we get too overwhelmed by that, just think about what we've already accomplished. We are not just the leaders of tomorrow. We're leaders now, today, or whichever day we choose to be. Being a leader is really about deciding things for yourself, taking your own initiative to do what needs to be done, and working with others. And there are plenty of examples of that in this class. Every year, over 100 students, from 7-year-old Corey to bubbly senior Jessica Bermau, audition for parts in the most amazing high school productions I've ever seen. There is a choir here, which, due to its performance in Vienna, has been invited to 5 other international youth choral festivals in places like Moscow and Berlin. And is excellent not only because of the fantastic direction of Mr. Buchert, but because many students, like Courtney Green and Amanda Weatherall, have been taking private lessons on their own time for years. Life is really about pursuing what you're passionate for, and many of us have found inspiration that's led us to pursue our passions here. Neil Dobie, Curtis Martin, and Zach Smith created Sax Appeal, pretty much the coolest saxophone band ever. Many quotes have been added to the band room's wall of shame. Frank Robertson has probably debated one issue or another with at least half the grad class. Hidden talents have been revealed at talent shows. The leadership class is kept busy running assemblies, organizing fundraisers, putting on conferences, and hosting the first annual art gala, which was attended by over 500 people. Jordan Erickson left us spellbound every time we heard her sing. Devin Smith shaved his mustache for cancer research, and we've all started to make our marks on the world, one way or another. There are some people I'd like to thank for helping us through the daily trials and tribulations of adolescence. First of all, Daryl Taylor, for writing countless reference letters, reminding us of what needed to be done in order to follow our various career paths, and just being there for support. Liz Cooper, for teaching me that sometimes the least conventional people are the most welcoming. Our parents, for providing late-night study stacks, rides when the rare downpour strikes, and encouragement even when they see our dismal calculus grades. Lenny Knight for simply answering yes to ethical questions. constantly raising the stakes in drama, and basically keeping everyone laughing. The custodial staff for keeping our school clean, even if the roof is caving in here and there. All of the many coaches and teacher sponsors for motivating us to get off the couch and devote some time to strengthening our bodies and our minds. Jenna Cougar for simply being nice to everyone. And Eric Nicolaisen for being a gentleman. The many secretaries, which not so secretly play a central role in keeping the school on track, as well as the rest of the behind-the-scenes support staff, who we don't always notice, but are consistently there working hard so we can get a good education. Stephanie Schoenberger and Carly Dobbs for proving you can get top grades even when competing in athletic tournaments nearly every weekend and missing school to do so. Our principal and vice principals for being excited about our education and this school even when we weren't. And last, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank our teachers who put up with us through our teenage angst years in order to teach us everything from how to dissect a pig and what an analogy is, to how to study and nerdy Chuck Norris jokes. Teachers like Miss Willamite, who are caring and compassionate and make us feel like we can accomplish anything we dream of. And teachers like Mr. Hamilton, who encourage us to take control of our own learning and let us watch Dr. Horrible. Throughout the last few years, we may have ignored deadlines, attempted scheming our way out of tests, and avoided standing up in front of class at all costs. But now we'd like to thank you for all the knowledge you've imparted to us and for keeping after us all those times when we didn't think we could do it, and you knew we could. Many of us have managed to find time to fill out university and scholarship applications in between sports provincials, opening night, exams, and our social lives. And we'll be heading off to a variety of post-secondary institutions in September. Others are taking a year off to work, travel, or decide what really interests them before handing over their savings and their parents' savings to one institution or another. Because yes, as I'm sure everyone in this room is fully aware, school costs money from here on out, and is bound to be an entirely different experience than high school. No longer will we have parents to wake us up in the morning and pack our lunches, and teachers aren't going to nag us to hand in our biology homework or remember our calculators. Teachers like Mr. Robertson, who start every class with weird, wacky, wonderful, and freak out every time 2012 is mentioned, shall be missed. As will impromptu concerts in the dark of the physics room, meant to illustrate the principles of sound waves. And yoga in psychology, because Ms. LaGranger knows how stressed out everyone gets at exam time. On the other hand, we're about to gain a lot more control over our own lives. There isn't going to be anyone to force us to pursue something we think is a waste of time. And it's really going to be up to us to decide what future we want to work towards. In the next few years, Safeway runs are likely to be replaced with craft dinner, soup, and cafeteria food, as we learn to navigate the adult world and what freedom really involves. Most of us are moving away from this town, at least for a little while. And now that all those hormones have settled, we can decide who we really want to be and how we want to affect the world. I've seen so much talent, enthusiasm, dedication, and kindness in this class that I have no doubts many great things will be accomplished. Already, Anna Robertson has written several sharp-witted plays, including The Ginger Files. Jenny Byford had an essential role in planning this year's Relay for Life. Darren Adams, Brian Morrison, and Kyle Catheriner have produced 17 outstanding episodes of MBTV. In addition to the Zoom Fest award team of Mount Baker students went to Physics Olympics at UBC for the first time ever this year. There are too many athletic accomplishments to even attempt listing them all. Every one of us have done things worth being proud of, and now it's time for us to choose what we want to do next. As great as all our accomplishments have been so far, I believe even greater ones are to follow. I have never before met such a diversely talented group of people who I more enjoy the company of. And before we all say goodbye, I'd like to leave you with one last piece of advice from the great mind of Albert Einstein. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. Thank you.